Hey Bean fam, Philip here. Just want to give a quick little intro to this video. We ran into some technical difficulties on this episode. I ran out of storage on my SD card when we were filming it. We were able to finish it, it's no big deal, but we just kind of had to stop in the middle of it. As I was editing it, I saw that we had like 2 hours of footage, which is not uncommon. We sometimes can go for like 2 or 3 hours. I just usually get it all down to about an hour or so. But this time I decided to go ahead and more or less kind of leave everything as is, very light editing. But we're going to make it a two-parter. So this first episode is just going to be us doing our normal kind of intro and catching up with each other and talking about why we love movies. And the second will be our top 5 and runner-ups and just some extra thoughts about movies and what we want to see with movies going forward. So just want to give you all a little intro to this and thank you all for watching. It's been awesome doing this again, and enjoy the episode. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. This is not sponsored by Smart Water. Never. Smart Water.
Sponsored by Bean Water.
Hey kids, you like bean water?
You know, coffee's kind of bean water.
Coffee is very much bean water, yeah.
And I really shouldn't say this, but they do pay for my paychecks, which has paid for some of the stuff. So slightly sponsored by Bean Water.
Slightly sponsored by bean water.
Oh God,
That's what keeps me up at night. Bean water. Actually, it's keep me up in the mornings. And then I drink it at night, and I shouldn't. That's what irresponsible keeps me up at night.
yeah. Oh man,
Ready?
yeah. It's Two Beans.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. We're the Two Beans. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. I went with a chiller one. I'm like,
Yeah, you're just kind
hey guys.
of mysterious today.
Hey guys. What's up, guys?
We're shooting a podcast. Oh my God.
They're staring at me.
Oh no, Babe caught me shooting a podcast.
The audience is staring at us.
Oh, look at you. Oh, coy.
I've been good, just doing my dang thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be probably coming out a month after, but I just turned 33.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. First day after, my knee and ankles hurt for like a good half the day.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's the christening.
Yeah, like my joints hurt.
Yeah, every birthday in the 30s, you get a new area that's either a little cracklier or a little tender.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little both.
I want to say it was definitely the joints. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm down like 36 pounds, so that's been helping.
Looking good.
Thank you. That's been helping the joints.
Yeah.
But still a little heavy, but we get there. Body positivity up. Just when drop the weight a little bit, so my body can kind of be like, yeah, cool, man, great, we can function.
Nothing wrong with just being like a baseline healthy.
Yep.
know?
Yep. So anyway, let's get right into it.
Yeah, what are we talking about today?
We're gonna talk about movies, but first, what have you listened to? But first,
Oh, no. You caught me. You caught me. I was sleeping over here.
oh,
What do you want to...
what, he's asking me questions. All right, I'll start since you're looking at your phone. Jeez Louise. First, so I've been kind of in this like alt pop, maybe like some like punk, little dirty, angsty stuff, little dirty. But we'll start with Hot Mulligan. Yeah, they're fun. They're like they're just really catchy, just scratch and itch, short. You're not thinking about these things.
Not sticking around too long.
Yeah, you might get into the lyrics a little bit, and they're fun. They're good.
Yeah,
good. Just a good, catchy, just fun. Like 2.5 minutes, you're done. Yeah, and then you go to the next song, or you listen to that song again because it's only 2.5 minutes long. And
that's just
kind of just hooks
scratches the spot, like you said.
It's not bad. But they're good. I mean, nothing to write home about, but enough to write home to talk about it to these people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wrote it home on my phone on a prompt to tell you.
Yeah. So
I do love the vocals too.
Yep. Hot Mulligan. The Beaches.
Oh, what's the Beaches?
The Beaches. It's a bunch of it's a good girl band. Woman band. Them band. I think in some case. I think the lead singer's Pan.
Okay.
Which is really cool. We love that. But they're getting a lot more popular. They just started popping up on my algorithm a little bit more here and there, and they've been great. Yeah.
As scary as the algorithm is, sometimes you grab something and you're like, sure.
Yep. And then a recommendation for me from a friend of mine, a very great friend of mine, is Wet Leg.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe I don't know much about them. Still getting into them. I listened to one album. Let me just look at it real quick. Just so I can make sure that.
Hey, Dad, I got a bad case of wet leg. Can you come pick me up?
But no, they're fun. It's definitely. Oh my gosh, Moisturizer is the album that I'm listening to. So.
Wet leg moisturizer.
But no,
why is my leg wet?
They're very good.
Did you put moisturizer on it? I did.
Well, there it is.
There it is.
No, I strongly recommend them. They've got they're a little bit more probably like on the angsty punkier vibes. Again, but that was a recommendation. They're a lot of fun. I recommend it. Not going to get too deep into this and stuff, but I strongly recommend those 3 bands.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I listened to, been going back to Within the Ruins and their first album, Creature.
Wow.
I think is that the name of the album, right?
Yeah, so you got Creature and then an Invasion are like the 2 that were in their heyday.
Invasion. Yeah, man, I love that first album, and just like every song is riff city, but like the riff city that just drives it, and you're just
it's a little bit different than mine. Where like that's more instrument probably forward, and again it's metal, so it's very percussive and it's very like hits a different note, and where like these are probably more you're gonna want the instrumentation is very catchy and has some stuff, but you're looking at the lyrics probably a little bit more. And not to say that metal, you're not looking at lyrics.
Yeah, because I was going to say, other than like a few lines, I couldn't tell you a single lyric.
Yeah, and I don't know
a vocal line.
I don't remember if it was really that deep. So
probably not.
I mean, I'm sure he wrote it, and it's deep.
I just love how like just dinkly winkly it is. Like it's like it just and especially like I'll listen to stuff like that usually kind of like early in the morning if I'm like on my way into work or something like that, because it kind of get that and get my energy drink, which I got approval from my dentist to be like, hey, you drink energy drinks? And I'm like, yeah. I kind of nurse them because I thought that would be like better, and they're like, no, you need to like chug it, drink it fast, and then like wash your mouth out with water. And I was like, oh, okay, so now I can chug out on my way to work and not feel bad about it.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
And then also a little bit of like Midwest emo, so some tiny moving parts. Okay. Just love more plankly guitars, but like just in kind of like a different font.
Sure. Yeah.
And then also a little bit of Connor Oberst. I guess more specifically Bright Eyes. I forget the name of the album. It's the one everybody loves, but it's some music that Jenna shared with me when we first started dating, and it kind of leads into like we both had like playlists we made for each other, and it's always a good time.
Nice.
And then last thing is I had like a week where I was big into also some 90s with some Collective Soul. Ooh. And then some Pearl Jam.
Yep. I've been into Eddie Vedder for quite a little bit. Just last 6 months of just being like, I like Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. His voice is like just hits or scratches the right itch.
Yeah. I've always liked Eddie Vedder. I'm like making more of an effort to listen to him and some of his stuff now.
Yeah. My nephew Shiloh sent me him learning Yellow Ledbetter, the intro. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, that song is so good. I forgot how like good that riff is. And looked it up and was trying to learn it myself too. And I was like, that's a tough riff.
Cool. Real tough. Sick, man. Sick riff.
Yeah. I look it up and they're like, oh, this was like them trying to write like a Jimi Hendrix. And I was like, that's why it's like real.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. All right. So what you collected or hobbied?
Okay.
Wow.
This is a hobby that I've actually been doing for the last few months, and I just kind of keep forgetting to like bring it up and when we're doing this. And it's something that Jen has been doing too. Just doing some like stargazing.
Cool.
So sometime last year we bought some binoculars for whenever we like, just go on like a road trip or something like that. And then kind of got into like watching like videos about it, and then took the binoculars out. And man, if you've never taken a pair of binoculars and just looked at the moon, like, I don't know why it's such a simple thing, but like it's spiritual experience. Like, man, you can just like see the depth of it. And I just love that. And so been wanting to like, man, eventually I want to get one of those kind of like fancy telescopes. And they're not like super crazy expensive. You can get one that's like $350, but it'll like help track like where you're trying to look for, and it'll take the picture for you.
Okay.
'Cause like trying to like get like, at least like with the smartphone, trying to take a picture through like the binoculars, it keeps trying to like change the camera. And it's like, nope, you're too close. I'm going to zoom or do whatever. And I'm like, okay, I got all these photos of like just the inside of my binoculars. Did that. And then, collecting big thing's been, still Pokemon cards.
Yep. But we just came from a show. Actually, I did a Pokemon Con. I spent way too much money. And the week before this, I spent way too much money doing another one. So
a little behind the beans. We just went to a card show this morning.
We've done 2 card shows and I guess Saturday.
Yeah, in the last week. Which
don't need to talk about how much money.
I feel like we usually do one like once a month or so, but there's been a couple of them around, and
I took the week off, so. And the one before at Wichita State was actually, I think, pretty cool. Like that one, small, not, because like the thing that always throws me a trip with those Pokemon card conventions is there's just a lot of people there that you're like, you don't like Pokemon. Like, and I hate to judge people, but like half of them are sports cards.
Like, sports so it's always like kind of a mix of like people there.
But then you'll get like the salesman types that have the Pokemon cards. So every once in a while, I think lately it's not been that bad, but I want to say sometimes you get this vibe like this guy's a salesman because he's only talking about these cards in a very like, well, yeah, this one's valued at this and this,
right?
This.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I talk about Pokemon cards, I'm like, oh well, that one's really cool. Look at the art and the Houndoom's doing this, or got that Gengar card with the guy that's very actually fanning that fire with a little blow tube, but it looks like he's taking a massive rip off his palm.
It's so good.
Which sold me on that. So, but that, I mean, like when we were talking with that guy was like, oh yeah, like he had a lot of, very, you could tell he was really into the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right.
In a weird way though, I kind of like it when it's a little bit of a mix, because then it's like, Both, I feel like I don't have to look at every table.
Yeah.
It makes it because I'll walk in and I'm like, oh man, there's so much here. But then you're like, okay, it's like this, and then I got to go all the way to the end here.
Yeah,
and especially after being to like several of them, it's like you start running into like like vendors that like remember you and like see people and stuff like that. So
I would say this one was a little different in the fact that like as I've got a couple cards now that are like you see them at every booth.
Yeah.
And they're all priced. The one today was like, I had like the Houndoom card. And like every time I found it at a booth, it was priced drastically different.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see. And that's like kind of one of
I haven't noticed that so much.
Like tips for those shows too is like, because a lot of times, which I did this today, where it's like you're like the first thing, and I'm like, I'm gonna pick up all these things, but like, a lot of times you'll see the same cards, and it's like just do some shopping around, and you usually can
don't
like
get it all.
Find
don't blow your load at the beginning.
Yeah, which I do.
Didn't listen to.
We do be doing that. Like
we do be doing that.
You hadn't even quite got there, and I already had like a whole bunch, and I was like, this is gonna be like half my budget here.
I like
here we go.
First vendor spent half my budget, then the second vendor spent the next half of the budget, and then every vendor after that just was going over budget.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I just recently, so I've been kind of doing, not a lot of people probably know like a little bit, but I'm going through a lot of self-evaluation, just kind of repicking up my life a little bit. We talked about me moving back and sort of how I've let that kind of like bookmark, or not bookmark, but like essentially just kind of like use that as like a spring point, like to move forward.
Yeah, and you're on to the next chapter.
Yep, next chapter. And I have kind of embraced this of like finding my sense of self and like really like my sense of self, not in I've been so influenced by other people, friend groups, communities. And I'm trying to find I'm trying to build my community, rebuild my community. I had a good one, with kind of moving and other things. I've kind of lost it. Now I'm rebuilding it, and I'm kind of working through that. But like while I'm doing that, I'm sort of like trying to just really explore myself and figure out like, and it's made some changes, and like I'm taking steps on like style and stuff. And I've had some people like, you don't wear this. I'm like, I actually think I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
I just never did because I didn't think that that'd be what I would look good in, and I cared what other people would think about that. And now I'm just kind of like, no, I just want to wear this. It's a jean jacket. I got a jean jacket, like a denim jacket. I don't know why I never thought I should wear one. I just was, but I recently was just like, I want to wear one. And and like, I got my hair cut. I was like, I'm just growing out my hair to grow out my hair again. There's no style. And so we're trying to grow, I got my hair cut. It's got to get some trims and stuff. And anyway, long story short, it's also bleeding into my style of like what I collect.
Yeah.
Cause I was kind of like reevaluating that. And there's a lot of, we'll get into it later when we get into movies, but of just a lot of my style is kind of, I'm using the word shallow to kind of describe my thoughts and feelings on it. Like I go look at the stuff I've collected and I'm like, they're connected to things that I like, but I don't know if they are things that I liked enough to actually do that. It was just like I had money in my pocket and didn't find the things, and so I bought this thing. I was like, that's close enough.
Yeah.
And it was more about just having all this stuff to show instead of actually having like a thought and process and story, like having that, or like, and having like significantly less stuff, but having more to say about that stuff also makes, I'd say makes me more interesting. And so, been getting into art a little bit. Yeah. And for my birthday, my friend Mace took me to an antique mall. and we did some shopping.
Yeah, how was that?
A lot of fun. It was up in Hutchison. I can't remember the name of it.
Was it Generations?
Generations, yeah. Yep. So I got 3.
Shout out to Generations.
Yeah. I got this like cross-stitched steamboat, and like the frame was really cute. I got kind of like a little scenery painting with like a town and some mountains. That was really cute. I can't remember it's not knitted or cross-stitched, but Macy probably would know it.
Is it crocheted?
It might be crocheted. I'm not sure. But it's in a frame. It's very pretty. They all kind of like didn't mean to, but kind of lined up really well too, next to each other.
No, I really liked that last one. I just seen that. I was on Facebook just a little bit before we got on, and I love the swirling pattern. I was like,
she actually kind of showed it. She was like, "Oh, look how cool this is." And I was like, "I actually really like that." And grabbing it, but no, it was a lot of fun. And exploring that stuff in me and sort of parsing together these, again, it's a springboard into a new chapter. And so as a person who works in physics, you have to leave something behind to keep moving forward. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of embracing that mantra a little bit, and also just in self-evaluation of like, what parts of me are things that I did that I didn't really like. Why?
Yeah.
Or what does it mean? And some of it's just been kind of like, it didn't mean anything. Now that I look back on it.
Yeah.
It just meant something, some little thing of happiness came from it for like a very fleeting second. And I grabbed it. And so that's been really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm really proud of you for doing that work and like really taking stock of like, who am I and why am I
very deep for a collecting, hobbying, like, but it has really bled into that. I think a lot of just moving interests and hobbying, or collecting in this case, hobbying. I'm still doing all my 40K stuff, but collecting is just really evolving right now.
Yeah.
And more.
I definitely relate, like, especially over the like last couple of years, when I didn't have time to hobby and collect as much, like, I didn't think about it too much, but then like coming back to it, really asking like, why do I, collect this specific thing, or, kind of the same thing where it's like, I look back and I'm like, man, like, I bought all of these things thinking this was going to be like really cool, and I'm like super stoked on it. And like, it's either, if it's lucky, it's out on the shelf. If it's not, it's probably like in a box, or I've already like gotten rid of it.
Right.
So it's like, just doing that deep dive on like, why?
Yep. So that's been cool. And then speaking of, you were getting into like, I'm looking at getting into bird watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, getting a camera, getting some binoculars. Maybe I'll do some stargazing with those binoculars.
Yeah.
But just kind of getting out into nature, doing the hikes that I like doing. And I kind of want to do it because I was talking to you about it earlier, and you said, well, why don't you just use your phone to take pictures? Like, well, I don't want to put it out there on like social media. I kind of want it to be my own thing. I want it to be like, I want to have a journal of these birds, and I want to put pictures in it. Like, I have like a scrapbook and stuff. And
just for you,
just for me, and I can show it to my friends, obviously. But like, it doesn't go on social media, and I don't get that. The instant gratification is just being out there and being disconnected from my phone. I think was the big reason. It was like, I just don't want my phone in my hand. I'm
gonna leave it in my truck.
I'm gonna leave it, and I'm gonna go. I'll just be gone.
I'm gonna drive.
You won't hear from me
for like 3 days.
I'll
leave my phone at home.
I won't tell anybody.
I won't tell a soul.
Yeah, but no, I'm really excited. I'm looking at cameras. I'm not gonna get too into cameras. I'm just gonna kind of just grab one and then take some pictures. And if I'm really getting into it and really vibing with it, then I might up that. But
look at this photograph.
Look at this graph of a bird.
Of this tit.
Yeah, titmouse. Titmouse. So anyway, and I love birds. Birds are so cool. So
yeah.
Living
dinosaurs.
Sure. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So when dinosaurs were coming in, you did have more avian-like dinosaurs start to evolve in the Cretaceous, maybe end of Jurassic, middle Jurassic, I'm not sure. So you have like two types of dinosaurs, and you have avian ones that ended up becoming, and then you had birds. And so
they're like, we got the avian flu.
yeah, you
we
got
gotta
avian
get this
dinosaurs,
way.
and then you have birds, which also still come from like the same line and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, fun fact.
Do you know the Earth is only 6,000 years old?
Holy shit. None of these were actually, none of those things existed. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't.
I can't believe I even just. All right. Did you know the all right. So what have you watched? And then we'll use this to transition into the topic for the day.
Movies.
Movies.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually haven't like watched a ton of movies.
Same.
Just kind of in general for a while, but like I chalk that up to YouTube, and it's kind of ruined me and how I sit down and I watch TV. But
you can kind of get your quick hits without like dedicating time to a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like sometimes there's movies where I'll want to watch it, but I'm just not in the right headspace to watch a movie. And so I just kind of like don't watch a movie, or like I'm like, well, I can't watch that one because I'm not going to pay attention, and I think I do need to pay attention to it. And so
Yeah.
movies have become more of a thing a little bit lately.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to want to dedicate a full to like my afternoon after work to a thing.
Yeah. My peak movie watching era was like either before I had a job or when like I had my job, and I just like literally would just go home and like sit down on the couch and just watch movies or whatever for the rest of the day. Cause like, you know, when you're like 19, 20 years old, what else do you have to do?
Right. We were broke. So it's not like you could just go, well, we were broke because we bought a lot of movies. But.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That does remind me of this one time I went to Best Buy to get, I think it was like 7 Psychopaths or something like that. And like the Blu-ray just come out, and it was like $40, and I was like, that's too expensive.
Yeah.
But then I was walking around looking at TVs as you do, and then left with like a $400 TV. Because at the time that was a good deal, because the TV that I had was like a 20-something inch, like it was really small. So this is a 40-inch, and that was like the best deal I can find. And like these days, I'll walk into Walmart and they'll have like a 75-inch for like $450, and I'm like, now, at least one thing's working out in this economy.
I've got 75. When I bought my 75-inch, it was $800, and now I go in and like,
yeah.
And I even went with like not. I got a Vizio, which is a very big brand, but it's not like Samsung or anything. And
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, I got like a lower tier brand for double the price of what a 75-inch Samsung is nowadays. So,
I know
which is
ridiculous.
fine. I lived, but
Yeah. I do. I have to shout out a couple of things that I have bought that I want to watch that have like kind of made me like movies seem like fun again. Is Goodwill, I found the X-Men collection of like I think it's just the first 2 movies. This is like a special edition DVD that came out like, I don't know, like 2003 or something like that. And those are like, I love those first 2. So those, and then I found some good stuff on like VHS lately, and that's just like kind of made watching movies fun again, because there is some like literal nostalgia with them.
Sure.
Found like Mr. Magoo with Leslie Nielsen. I was like, that one looks fun. And then I found The Burbs with Tom Hanks.
They just did it's a series with The Burbs. It's got like Keke Palmer.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'd seen an advertisement.
I started watching it. It's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's fun.
That
I don't know if
reminds
it's like
I need to write that
you've
down.
already watched The Burbs, you're kind of like, all right. But
Yeah.
it's interesting sometimes when you see like movies versus series, and maybe like the series have a little bit more substance.
Yeah.
because they can just fit more stuff. Like, why you have 1 hour, and like I think also why we're also trending towards series is one. Yeah, you can fit more stuff because you basically get 10 hours to play with instead of 2 hours.
Yeah.
But like also like it's a lot more palatable to be like, I'm only gonna lose 45 minutes of my day or an hour of my day, and I can watch this and sit down and actually concentrate on it. I don't know. That just popped in my head. That wasn't on any of our prompts. We haven't talked about that at all.
We can go off script just a little bit. Just a wee bit, but yeah. And one last thing with VHS tapes, I've also I have a stack of like my childhood tapes, and slowly been going through them because they'll be labeled one thing, but in most cases that's not what it is.
Yeah.
So I literally had to start like a notebook of like this one that says it has the top 10 WWF matches of 2001 actually has 2005 MTV2 music videos for 5 hours.
Did somebody record over it?
I recorded over my own stuff all the time to a point that it's like super infuriating because I was like, oh, this will be kind of cool. This will be a fun nostalgia dive, and I'll see maybe some stuff from the 90s, probably some stuff from like early 2000s. Most of it's like either 2005 MTV2 because it was like him or Bam. It would be like the making of Dark Light, and I would record it, and I would record the whole tape.
Yeah.
So it's like that ends, and then it's just music videos or something silly from then. Or it's like a couple things from like 2008 that'll be like, again, it'll be like a VH1 documentary about like maybe Metallica or something not even that cool. And again, just record the whole thing over a tape that probably had some cool stuff on it beforehand that would have actually been more fun to go back and watch.
Yeah, I remember my favorite anime when I was a kid was Inuyasha, and I would always get VHS tapes, and because it was up, I had to go to bed, so I couldn't stay up to watch it. So I would just this was before streaming. You could also so before, because I think this is right. Satellite finally had the TiVo or whatever it was.
Yeah, like the DVR.
Yeah, you could record, but. Essentially, I took VHS tapes, and I would just record. So yeah, you would just have you just hit record. It would do its thing. You could go back, watch it. You had to find it on the tape.
Yep.
And then, I would just go back, watch those episodes, do the same thing. And that was how I watched Inuyasha when I couldn't stay up super late.
Yeah, yeah. No, the tapes were a game changer. And I think kind of the main reason there's a lot of recording over is both like either my parents not wanting to buy more tapes / also by the time I was recording stuff, they probably didn't sell blank tapes as much. So all I had was that stuff. But it's like a part of me that as much as I love media preservation, I've never been good at it. And it's definitely teach me a lesson of like, just get another hard drive or
right.
something along those lines.
Don't save stuff on your operating system hard drive.
But yeah, it's fun, and that ties into a little bit of like what we'll get into is like the craft of like filmmaking.
Sure. Yeah. I'd say for me, I watched the One Piece live action, which has the episode that breaks my heart every time, which is the Laboon episode. I won't get into that. If you know, you know. You don't, you don't.
Real tear jerker.
It can be, and as an animal person, and it's about a Laboon is a whale. It's a little baby whale.
Yeah.
And there's a song that's anyway. It's so good, and the live action is a lot of fun. I always struggle watching anime's live action, like as an anime and now it's a live action. Just because like anime, you can get away with the silliness of it and just the over top of it. You can get away with it with a cartoon because there's a disconnect. You're like, this is a cartoon.
Yeah.
Right? With live action, it's harder to do that. But what they did with this live action is they just kind of like, well, no, that's what this is. It has that. That's the elements of this show. that everybody loves about it. So they're like putting that stuff in. And
Okay.
I've noticed sometimes where I'm like, it maybe can be a little cringy, but I would much rather have that than not have that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, like when we do the superhero movies and they're like, well, we have to make it realistic, which works if you're Christopher Nolan Batman and stuff,
Yeah.
right? But with like anime and stuff, I don't know. Like, yeah, sure, there are moments where you're like, it just didn't really translate, but I still would rather them just do it.
It feels more true to form.
Right. And I don't necessarily like, I don't want a pure form, pure interpretation of it, but I still want the elements of that.
Yeah, you want it to feel.
Right.
Yeah.
And One Piece is very much has that, there's like, you feel like it's just this little overtop silliness.
Yeah.
And, because the main character can stretch his body. He's got goes because he ate the gum fruit. So anyway, he's a rubber man. So,
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So yeah, you want that stuff, and you just gotta live with it. Sometimes you're gonna be cringe. I wouldn't even say cringe in a bad way or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, okay, oh, all right, yeah. I'm glad they did it.
Yep.
So glad they did it. So yeah, I watched that. I started rewatching Community. Which is it's a Dan Harmon show. I think I want to say the Russo brothers were in it, or not in it, but they're involved with it. I'm not sure.
A lot of heavy hitters in that show, both like on and around it.
Yeah, Chevy Chases himself, which is very disappointing. I actually don't know if he's actually racist in real life, but I wouldn't be shocked. He's still scummy.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Anaconda remake. Which was I appreciate that they tried to reboot it in a way that was very like original, and like this is like basically being like, well, Anaconda's a movie.
Yeah.
And then these people who are in these film and are in film because of this movie want to sort of do a sequel of it, and they go down, and then they end up getting attacked by a real snake and stuff. And oh god,
no, I've been all. It's okay.
So I can appreciate that. Like they tried to make it, but it's so like, why?
Yeah.
And you just threw Paul Rudd and Jack Black in it, and we're like, look, it's them. You're gonna love it because it's them.
Yeah.
And sure, they pull their weight, whatever. But at the same time, like it just, I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I didn't want it.
Serviceable, but not necessary.
It's just kind of slop, and it's very disappointing in a time when you have a lot of comedy people going into thrillers and horror movies. And doing so well with like Jordan Peele stuff. Weapons was a part of that, you know. It just, and so you could do this very like monster horror comedy. I feel like that's very attainable nowadays to do that well.
Yeah.
And so maybe you didn't have to rely on Jack Black and Paul Rudd names to achieve that. But you know, it is what it is.
It feels very much like kind of in the same vein of
like
kind of like Minecraft movie with like, again, Jack Black in it. And it's like, sure, it was a fine movie for what it was. But again, like, was it necessary? And it feels just like this was written purely to just sell more Minecraft stuff, which
I will argue Minecraft was for kids.
Everything is, you got to make money or whatever, but it's just, it's all so blatant. And when like everything is like a franchise, like there's not going to be like a movie with Jack Black in it that isn't
like the Mario
something, you know?
Yeah, the Super Mario ones too. And it's kind of unfortunate this is another Jack Black movie.
I know. Because the other thing I was thinking was like Jumanji, and I was like, that's
so Jack Black.
Sorry, Jack Black, I love you. It just,
you know what?
A lot of the movies are...
I'm a little upset with him with the Kyle Gass stuff. I don't know if you know much about that.
Oh, when he made like the comments about Trump and stuff or whatever.
When Kyle Gass came out and then Jack Black kind of like turned his back. I'm a little piffed about that, you know, but...
Yeah.
anyway, getting out of that.
But also when you're Jack Black and you're in all of these movies, I'm
things.
sure there's probably a lot of like, he's got people that are paying him that are like, if you don't say something,
which
you
is,
get
you
no
know,
more money.
and we're not saying that that's okay, but we also like that's the game.
Yeah,
That's the game of capitalism and profiting, and
yeah.
it just it's what the existence is. So anyway, not to get into that and lose all. We're gonna rewind. But no, it was slop.
Yeah,
It kind of not AI slop so much. I'm sure a lot of artists worked really hard on it. Real artists. It just was slop.
Yeah,
It's a reboot slop.
just
And
wasn't necessary.
There was just some creativity that went into it. Yeah, it could have been better. Big movies. Big movies. I love movies.
I love the fact that movies can really span the whole spectrum of like, you can have something that's like super fantastical and totally be like something you could never imagine, or like something that you can't like do physically here on Earth. But then you also have the flip side where movies can be very personal and really speak to parts of you that you're like, oh man, this is something I thought I was the only one that ever felt this way.
Right.
But here's this, actor, writer, director, whatever, also expressing that. And so, and you can do the really personal thing in a really fantastical movie, or you can do a really fantastical story in a very like plain setting. Like it's just whatever you want to make it, which is like another thing. It's just like the craft, like putting everything together is just, it's cool.
Yeah. I was gonna say like, growing up, we will watch movies. Like I remember my dad, like he'd come home and like, well, we're not going to watch TV shows. Like, after The Simpsons, it's like, well, why would we watch anything else? So you're going to watch movies and stuff, or he'd throw on the news. So it was either movies or news growing up. And so like in a way,
Dad,
like
could you put on Rachel Maddow?
Yeah, right. In a way, like it was kind of an escape from reality, like it is today as well. Like the same. Yeah, like it's just kind of like, I actually, when I was growing up, just a really young age, not for too long, I wanted to be like a director and stuff, and have and made like a little mini movie with army men, or I would do like a play and have my parents watch with like my Beanie Babies and stuff, and I'd get in trouble because I always made them cuss.
Hey, Beanie Baby, get your knife out of my ass over here.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my Beanie Baby saying that, by the way. And yeah, so like I just kind of like always like have been attached and liked it. It's been, I think, from a really young age. We'll get into kind of the movies, like our first movies and stuff, but just I've always really, and it's really grown into other things and branched out. And it's like, would I be into music now?
Yeah.
Without Oliver and Company, which we'll get into. And, what I watching growing up with, I love dinosaurs, and you watch Jurassic Park, and then it's like, I love Jurassic Park. I'm reading the books, and now I'm
a dinosaur.
Now I'm a dinosaur. But like,
Thanks, Dad.
Like I said, we'll get into that. But, and now that I've like gotten older and stuff, and really like, cause like, I'd say like when I first probably started collecting movies, it was very, again, talking about being shallow and stuff, of just being like, look at all these things that I have.
Yeah.
Do I really understand what it means? Probably not, but I have a lot of things, and I'm cool because I have a lot of things, and I have a big library looking thing, and it's like, cool, you have that, but like, what does it mean? And, well, as I just sort of grew into it by being this way, it's my appreciation for movies and just kind of like the passion that I have for it of like watching it and understanding creative choices and understanding like, oh, the director did this like this because of, for these reasons, and has really started growing my love for movies, but also still narrowing it, if that makes sense. Like, like I can, like, and again, I've kind of grown out of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
They're not bad. Some of them I still like. I do probably try and watch them if I can, but I don't have the need, and it's because I think my love for movies has kind of grown into this thing now of like, just, I'm not going to be Martin Scorsese about it, where it's like, oh, well, I can't watch it. I still go watch all the Jurassic World.
Right.
I still watch all the Godzilla movies, but those are very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
Whereas like maybe Marvel,
they just scratch a different itch.
Yeah, they scratch a deeper itch as opposed to like the Marvel movies and stuff. So I just, oh gosh, got a little distracted. But like, yeah, just kind of really getting into the art of making movies and like, and just like now I'll go watch breakdowns and videos and other people talking about it and like, and just again, like having that emotional connection to some characters and being like, or just emotional connections to moments in your life that are attached to this thing. Like, God, I want to say I watch Lord of the Rings all the time. 12 hours, I watch all of them. And Return of the King, there's a part where everything's just not going well. Gondor's, it's Battle of Pelennor Fields and city. Can't think of the name right now, but anyway, Rohan arrives. Rohan and
Rodan.
Rodan. They arrive and like right as everything's like at its bleakest, and there's a cool speech and they do a big cavalry charge into the orcs and they're like, we're going to die, but we're going to die fighting for this thing. And it's so cool. And like, I kind of like, if it can hit me at times where I just start crying.
Yeah.
Cause it's just like, I don't know, like it just hits that emotional connection that I actually don't know if I fully understand. Mm-hmm. But it does it, and like I said, the timing of it all can really trigger an emotional, like a very deep emotional response. Where like, and you're like, I don't know, I just feel very happy, or I feel very like cool, and like that, getting that from movies,
touching something in you that brings up like a good like joyous feeling.
Right. So and or just a sense of like safety in that, or like maybe you're connecting it because it's like I'm going through a rough time, and now here's my community coming to send,
That's how I feel when I watch the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Mm-hmm. So I'm like teary-eyed. I'm like, it's a good damn movie right there.
Put it there, damn it. Yeah, so I've really kind of embraced that stuff with movies, and it's just kind of grown throughout time, and as I've gotten older, I cry a lot more during movies.
Yeah. No, same here. Like, any of that was something I was going to put on like challenging movies, is like anything that's like sad, I will just cry and cry.
Yeah. Marmaduke, is it Marmaduke?
Yeah. Well, we were watching like the end of like Stranger Things, just
I cried.
Whole last of it.
Yeah, I cried.
Like,
So
So you love movies like early on. Like, what were some of your like favorite influences?
Okay, so I mean, I did kind of like tease into it, but we'll start off with the first movies I loved, which is probably gonna be most kids our age are gonna be. It's Fox and the Hound, it's Lion King, Land Before Time, Aristocats.
Yeah.
But I do think the big one that like really branched out into my life, and something that's very like, I just have a deep love for it. It's now I love plays, and it's kind of influenced into that, musicals. It's music in general. It's kind of like bled into that, and it's Oliver and Company, like with Billy Joel, and it like
Billy Joel.
The music in it is so much fun, and it's just name's Billy Joel, and it's a cat and a dog, and it's these, it's a story about this kind of marginalized, the kitten's abandoned, and I'm an only child, so like, not that I was a kid in a cardboard box getting picked up, but you have some sense of loneliness attachment to that kitten that's alone and just trying to find a family. And obviously I had my parents. It's not like I'm like finding my
right,
but like like there's a sense of like trying to find your community.
You were the only one like you in the household,
right? I was like or like just trying to find a community,
the same age,
right? Yeah. And so this kitten's just trying to find friends and community, and like, so it's just very just connected deeply with it. And the music is just the music. It does. It's so good. And the vibes are awesome. Yeah. Like the food, you watch the food and they're eating the food.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to eat that food. I love Oliver and Company. Yeah. So
that's great.
Yeah. So for, just initial, just kind of getting to movies as really young. Yeah. Oliver and Company is the big one. Continuing on, Godzilla Showa era movies. So like Godzilla versus Gigan and Godzilla versus Megalon are like the two that I love, because I might have showed you Gigan where they're talking. I was like, woo, and like Godzilla and are talking to like, and it's just this goofy voiceover, and it's so stupid because it's translated from Japanese as well. So it's just I want to say I showed you that, but and then Godzilla versus Megalon has that stupid like where the fight scene where like he like slides on his tail. He skids on his tail and kicks him, and it's like it's kind of Jet Jaguar is this. They wanted to put Godzilla and Ultraman in a movie together, but they couldn't. They didn't do Ultraman, so they did this like Jet Jaguar, which is basically Ultraman.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I love the corniness of those. It's just Toho Godzillas, like those old 70s ones, are just so great.
I feel like seeing those very young too, just like makes them extra special.
And I love them. I watch them all the time. I remember I got to stay up on Halloween because it's Halloween, and they always did Godzilla movies. And so you're watching a lot of the Showa era. And I had a cousin that we used to always just play together, and it was always Godzilla. And so I have some pretty cool emotional connections to that. Jurassic Park, which again I went into earlier, of like, it's such a huge influence on my life. And like, I've even noticing it now, like, nowadays, like we're starting to get into like AI and just this like massive advancement of technology and pushing of science, and that the core premise of Jurassic Park is not really about like dinosaurs. It's about the advancement of science and irresponsibly pushing it, and not nobody's really learning lessons. They're just taking what other people did and just adding on to it, and nobody, until they fail, and then somebody else comes in and they don't have to, they never failed up to that point. They just get to keep pushing. And it's like, when do you stop and why should you stop? And I think we're very much in that right now with the AI and the advancement of AI and just shoving it down our throats.
Man, I seen a commercial the other day, and I forgot what it was an advertisement for, but it was Jurassic Park, and it had like, where they either deep faked or they AI'd or something, like the original actors, because it was Jeff Goldblum and
Sam Neill and Laura Dern.
Like, but doing new like lines, but like in the movie. And I was like, that pisses me off, because it's like literally the line that like Ian Malcolm delivers is like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I'm like, why did you make this commercial with that? You haven't seen the movie.
Right.
I can't remember what it was for, but it was probably
but like the whole premise of
it was like use GPT so you know how to tie your shoes.
Right. And but like that, all that stuff ties back to watching that movie. Like, and after I watched that movie and then read the books. And so there's so much of my life and how I think about things and just kind of values that I hold that are really tied to the premise of that story. And it all is because of that movie. And on top of that, I love dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are cool.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. And also Steven Spielberg. Just
yeah, I still watch Steven Spielberg stuff. His stuff is still. I'm really excited for his new movie.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go see that.
Early influences for me, kind of in like the same vein of like really not only tying to movies but also like music too. And honestly, I kind of feel like just my views on the universe and how to be as a person is Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Like it just checked all the boxes. But yeah, like and specifically like Bogus Journey, because like I saw that one first. Like I remember that one came on TV. And like started watching like halfway through and like I didn't understand, and it was like a minute before I seen the first one after that. But yeah, like just like the idea of like saving the universe through music.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it's awesome. But yeah, that one like had a big influence on me, and especially like guitar. Like
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Just been like guitar is super cool since like such an early age. Also like the movies of Tim Burton had a big influence. Like the Tim Burton Batman movies, while they weren't like super fresh by the time I was like kind of like becoming conscious, like, you know, we still had them at home, you know, so I'd seen like the first two, and then Edward Scissorhands, seen that when I was really young, and that also just like had like a huge impression on me, because it was like, you know, like we were talking like earlier where you're like watching stuff on TV, and if you miss it, you kind of miss part of it. So it's like watching a movie like Edward Scissorhands, like halfway through and not getting like the whole thing. Yeah. Like, man, that movie was like so mysterious to me for like a while. And then it's like finally watching it, I was like, oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
And then like the other big thing would be like 007. Saw those like when I was really young.
Yeah, because we grew up during. I mean, we talked about this. I think on one of the other episodes. Is me watching. I was going back and watching the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Yeah.
And I think you loved GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And I was Died Other Day because I was just Halle Berry. And
yeah,
James Bond. I love James Bond. Yeah. And now, like nowadays, like I watch it. I'm like, and Pierce Brosnan. Like it's Halle Berry.
Oh yeah.
And it's Pierce Brosnan. They're both
absolutely
like
just pure cinema gold.
Yeah, like you know, when you're younger, you're like as a young influenced male, you're like, no, Halle Berry's hot. Now that I'm older, I'm like, Pierce Brosnan
and Pierce Brosnan
so hot.
Oh yeah.
He's hairy. Yeah, they're both so hot. Which maybe that says a little bit about me. Maybe that's my growth a little bit, but
absolutely.
But yeah, no, James Bond. Yeah, the Pierce Brosnan ones are so good.
And like GoldenEye was like a really big thing, and then I think it was like Tomorrow Never Dies was like the one after that. Like
the one with the scooter, right?
Yeah, and just like 1999 as in general as a year was just really cool. Because there was like so much like kind of hype like leading up to like 2000, and I remember like the ad campaign for Tomorrow Never Dies just feeling really awesome, and I don't know, everything just had like a cool like tinge to it.
Yeah. All right, so then. All right, that's it.
Bye.
Bye.